So Iowa got absolutely demolished by UCLA, who are, again, one of the top teams in the nation. I think when it comes down to it with UCLA, look, they play a 7-player rotation and 6 of them are seniors. Like, it is what it is when it comes to UCLA. They're a tough out. Like, I thought Iowa were going to put up a bit of a better fight, but today was just, it's one of those things where I'm like, at the same, like, I like Jan Jensen, and Jan Jensen frustrates the heck out of me. And today was showed both of those reasons why. Jan Jensen basically decided that she was going to play this game exactly like she played Iowa State. That, okay, they've got a big that struggles in the pick and roll. Let's not run the pick and roll. And they've got a dominant inside big, and let's just put them in single coverage. It is this weird obsession. Like, I think Jan Jensen, as far as a person, like as a player coach, seems to be exceptional. Jan Jensen, as far as a tactician coach, she does seem to want to play like it's 2001, maybe 1998, if we're being realistic. At the end of the day, you've got here, and they were destroyed. Obviously, it was a tall order how it stopped turning over. Like, they turned the ball over so much. Dugalich killed them. I thought Ava Hayden was just left on an island against Lauren Betts. I thought they did a good job against Lauren Betts early, but as time went on, Lauren Betts just cooked them. I know she only had 16, 4 turnovers. I still think they let it go too easy for Lauren Betts. There were no double teams. There was nothing to make things difficult. They gave Dugalich drop 22 points. Like, there were a few shots. Like, there were moments in the game where you're like, okay, this kind of changed it. Like, they hit a big shot to get it back down to 8 just before halftime, and then the ball just lands in Gianna Niepkin's hands through no fault of her own. The ball just lands in her hands, and she hits a big 3 to make it 11. Like, I think that's where the experience came in. I think UCLA played the game better, and I just feel like it was just 2 runs. It was 2 runs. I thought Iowa were in the game, and then UCLA had that run. You can see it here. Like, it was... Were Iowa up at any stage? No. But, like, it was, 17-11. Iowa got back 17-13. Then UCLA pulled it out to, I think it was just over 10 near the end of the second. And Iowa had to kind of fight back to get it back to winning 8. They got it back to it in 10 to start the third. And then suddenly, I think it's an 11-point game. I think Hayden made... Am I right in saying Hayden made a jumper? Yeah, Hayden made a long 2. And to make it an 11-point game after your third. And I'm like, Iowa need to go on a run to even get this back to within single digits, because you have to, in these type of games, you have to stay within touching distance. You cannot win these games if you're not pulling off a 20-point comeback as the underdogs. So what you have to do is you have to stay within touching distance. So either you keep it at 11 and then maybe hope that your run is later on in the game, where your run has to be now. You just can't afford to let UCLA go on a run. They let UCLA go on an 11-0 run, and suddenly it's a 22-point game. Really nice kind of turnaround post fade from Lauren Betts to end that run. From then on, it was game over. Like, they just didn't have enough. Iowa did not have enough in this game, and they scored a couple of baskets in garbage time, but like it was out at near 30, like 27 points. It was I could have swore there was a C at the end of her name. Okay. Oh, it's because it has like a I don't know what it's called in Serbia. The kind of hyphen things. It's called a different thing. If that's in Ireland, it's called a fada. But it's obviously not called that in Serbia, I'm guessing. But yeah, so for Iowa, again, Ava Hayden offensively was good. Like, she hit shots. Stokey only shooting 6 shots. Addie Deal was very poor, I thought. I thought that she didn't really do much. There were a lot of times I thought she was hesitant. I thought she was hesitant to pull when she was open. Chit Chat gave you 10. Fearbach gave you 0. Stremlo 12. Stremlo hitting some shots. She had a couple down the stretch in kind of meaningless time. But look, if you're going to concede 50% from 3 and 58% from the field, you're going to lose. It's as simple as that. And like, again, it's not like someone like a Gianna Niepkins had the greatest game in the world. It's not like Gabriella Hackwas had the greatest game in the world. But that is the one thing with this UCLA team is they just have they have so much. Like Sienna Betts gives them an extra bench player. Like it's not like Sienna Betts is anything unbelievable. Like I understand she was, depending on there were some publications that had her as the number 1 recruit. I think it was her, Jazzy Davidson, and Leah Chavez. Different publications had each of them as the number 1 recruit. I think the best of those, potential-wise, I don't know. I like Aaliyah Chavez. I think Aaliyah Chavez is a hooper. I don't care. Like, I don't care that she's flawed. She's the most. Aaliyah Chavez is the highest ceiling, lowest floor of them all because she's so flawed. I just really like Aaliyah Chavez. Sienna Betts has not showed much, but she came in injured. And it's going to be weird to see what happens to UCLA when the entire team goes next year. Like, their entire starting 5 and Dugalich are all seniors. And it is one of those interesting things to think that 4 of those UCLA players are probably going to be gone in the first 10 picks. Because it's very unlikely that, like, let's be real, Lauren Betts is not falling out of the lottery. Someone's going to take a gamble on that size. Kiki Rice potentially could go in the lottery. And people saying lottery 7 picks now. She could potentially go in the lottery. And the expectation is that Golden State and the Fever are each going to take one of Niepkins or Hackwas. Like, the expectation is that if they're there at 8 and 10, you don't know which one of them they're going to take, but either of those teams are going to take both Niepkins and Hackwas. So they've potentially got 4 top 10 picks. So look, losing to this team is not a big deal for Iowa. How they lost, I just don't. Again, I watch their games that they lose, and I'm like, this team has like too much talent. This team has way, way too much talent to be playing the style of play that they play. Like, I genuinely think like they play some of the weirdest basketball ever, and like they play basketball like it's the 90s. They genuinely play basketball like it's the 90s, and it frustrates the heck out of me. But look, a loss against UCLA isn't bad when, look, your best player is a sophomore who is barely projected to be a first round pick by the time they're in the draft. So, like, it is what it is. You're outmatched against that UCLA team, especially when UCLA played well. Like, if UCLA are going to play well, Iowa aren't going to beat them. For Iowa to win, I still think on a day where Iowa play well and UCLA play bad, Iowa can beat them. But Iowa struggled on this trip. I didn't think Iowa were as bad today as they were against USC. I thought Iowa were terrible against USC. But at the end of the day, they just came up against a better team.